So, hello everyone. Welcome to SM Techno. Myself SM Ali, and I'm masters in HVAC, and have been a professional trainer from last 15 years. And I'll be your faculty for this Revit MEP training program. So let's start. First, we'll discuss what we are going to deal in this training program. Because you see, if you're learning something, first you must know why you're learning. You should have a strong reason. Okay, so I believe everyone have the reason why you are in this session. So first, why is required, then what you're going to learn. So what means the syllabus? So in this session, so it's an introduction session. I'll give you the idea. What are the topics? What are the different modules? And how we are going to deal with. So here I'm going to share the screen. So before starting the session, let me give you the quick idea about MEP and Revit MEP. Okay, because many people have confusion. They think that Revit MEP and MEP both are same. No, MEP means mechanical, electrical, plumbing. I think most of the participants, those who are dealing in building services, they know, dealing with the HVAC, plumbing, firefighting, electrical service. But Revit MEP is a software we are using to deal with this building services, means for designing for this building services. Not only just designing, we're using this for designing, for modeling, for drafting, for metal takeoff, and a lot of many more options. So MEP means I'm talking about this services and designing the services using the software Revit MEP. Okay, so using the Revit MEP, one can deal with designing of this building services. Okay, so for that reason, if you are a beginner and if you don't know anything about this building services, then this course is not for you, because this is the next level. If you know the building services, at least as a mechanical, if you know this designing of HVAC service, or at least as a electrical, if you know designing of this electrical service, then you can think to deal with the Revit MEP. Because in Revit MEP training program, we are going to focus on the tools. We are going to focus on the tools. Using the tools, we'll deal with the designing of the services. So if you don't know anything about the service, like for example, if you don't know the ducts, if you don't know this AHU, if you don't know this electrical terms and terminology, plumbing terms and terminology, the different services in plumbing, the different systems in firefighting, etc., it is difficult. You cannot focus on the tools. You'll get confusion in the concept. So if you know at least the basics of this building services, I'm talking about the design side, then this course is for you. I think you're getting my point, because it's the next level. And if you talk about the Revit, Revit is a software from Autodesk, and I think you know who is Autodesk. It's a big software development company offering different softwares, not only Revit. They're offering AutoCAD, they're offering 3D Max, and number of softwares. And this Revit MEP is a product from Autodesk, and it's a software work on the BIM concept. And here also a lot of people have confusion. Many people think that Revit is a BIM, but you see, the point is, when you search for the BIM, you'll get Revit, because in market, if you compare with the other software which works on BIM concept, in the list you'll find Revit on the top. So if you're searching for BIM, you'll get Revit, but it not mean that Revit and BIM both are same. Revit is a software from Autodesk, works on the BIM concept, or I can say Revit software, which is from Autodesk, try to achieve the BIM concept. So BIM is a concept. It's a big concept, right from the starting stage of the project till the demolish, not only for services, for the building, for structural, for architectural, and including all the services. So BIM is a big concept. So what is BIM? We'll discuss in the next session. This is just an introduction session. I'm going to give the idea about the syllabus. But remember, Revit and BIM both are not same. Revit is a software from Autodesk, works on the BIM concept. And BIM means I'm talking about building information modeling. The more about the BIM, I'll give you in the next session. This is just a introduction session. So here I'll give you what you're going to learn in this training program. So let me share the screen. I believe the screen is visible. So here on screen, you can read the title of the course. It's a Revit MEP, including project and the training files. Because learning Revit with the project is mandatory, because this is not like AutoCAD simply learning the tools, because in Revit you must follow the sequence. So learning Revit with project is required. So you'll get the project in this training program, the step-by-step notes, and the notes is again as per the project requirement, including the project files. Okay, so you'll get the two projects. One is a school project for all the services, and one more additional project specifically for HVAC load calculation. Okay, because in load calculation, compare with the previous version 2021, And if you compare this 2021 version with the latest version till 2024, you'll find the major difference in the load calculation. So that's the reason I'm offering additional Villa project for the load calculation, so that I can compare the difference between 2021 version and 2023 or 24 version. Okay. So I'll get two projects. So school project till the end for all the services, and Villa project is only for the load calculation. And the core standards you can find on the screen. This anyhow, this Revit software is from Autodesk and works on the BIM concept. So you can read here Autodesk as well as this BIM concept. And I divide this training into 10 sections, or I can say 10 modules or 10 parts. Okay. So what are those different parts? So you can find on the screen. First, you see part 1, which is basics and common for all the services. If you are dealing with the mechanical service, or if you are dealing with the electrical service, these tools are common. Okay, which is very basic and very, very important. And starting, if you not focus on these basics, you'll get a lot of confusion. Okay, because you see, Revit software is new for everyone, even for experienced participant having experience, say 20 or 30 plus years, because this is a new concept. So focusing at the basic is very, very important. Once you get the basic, you'll get the concept. With that concept, we can start with the different services. So this part 1, I'm considering Revit MEP basic, which is very, very important. And if you want to learn Revit, you must start practice from the first class. You must complete all the tasks, because this is software. Without practice, it is difficult to get. So at least you need to spend 1 hour minimum after the class for practice, especially for the basics. Once you get the concept in the basic, then you can able to deal with the different services. So this is very, very important, because as per my experience, many participants of my previous batches, they're getting confusion in the basic, and because of this, they are not able to continue for the other modules. Okay, so this is very, very important. So I request to practice more or repeatedly practice these basics, because this is common for all the services. And in this Revit MEP basic, you're going to get the order, how to set this template file, and how to deal with the VG. VG is a visibility graphics, which is common for all the services, because visibility is very, very important in Revit, because in Revit, we are dealing with the project. Project means for all the services, we are using one project file. So if you not work on the visibility, you'll get a lot of confusion, because everything in one file means you cannot work. So visibility of graphics, you'll find in the starting sessions in the Revit MEP basic part 1. Apart from this, we'll discuss about the levels in part 1 only, and how to set the grids, how to set the levels, and this view control toolbar. And again, this is related to the visibility. So this part 1 is very, very important. Okay. Next, further, here you can find on screen, part 2 is for load calculation. Okay, as I said, I divide this training into total 9 parts. Okay, so after this basics, we'll start with the HVAC. Again, in HVAC, first we deal with the load calculation. Okay, and in load calculation, first we'll deal with the building survey for your project. And building survey means, before building survey, we are going to learn how to link a 3D intelligent building. And remember, if you want to deal with the load calculation in Revit, you must get a 3D intelligent building from the architect. Okay, if you get this AutoCAD files or Revit, this architectural or CAD files, you can use in Revit. We have an import option for CAD file also, but you cannot deal with the load calculation, because load calculation required 3D intelligent building. And 3D intelligent building is going to prepare by whom? Not by the mechanical or electrical engineers, architect. You must get this 3D intelligent building from the architect, so that we can link. And after linking this Revit 3D intelligent building, one can deal with the services, especially for the load calculation. This 3D intelligent building is must. If you are dealing with the CAD file from architect, no doubt we can deal with the ducting, piping, the modeling of that, etc. But load calculation cannot be done with the CAD file from architect. If you want to deal with the load calculation Revit, you must get 3D intelligent building from the architect. So in this part 2, we'll deal with the building survey first for the load calculation. Then we'll learn the steps for the load calculation. Then under steps, you'll find preparing spaces, and how to prepare spaces. We have different cases to discuss, like preparing spaces for a single space, for multiple space, or in open area, or multi-level, etc. And the next step after the spaces is creating zones. So as a mechanical, I believe you know what is zone. So zone refers to thermostat. Na? Anyhow, we'll discuss at the time of dealing with the zone. So in Revit, we'll deal with the zoning. Again, in zoning also, you'll find the multiple cases like zoning on a single level or zoning on a multiple level, etc. Then we'll deal with the ventilation setting, which is very, very important for the load calculation. One can use ASHRAE 62.1 or your own consultant or the location or authority standard. Then we'll talk about the space setting, then the zone setting. Then, as I said at the beginning, separate Villa project, especially for this load calculation, so that we can compare 2021 version with 2023 or 24 version. Then we'll deal with the heating and load calculation to generate the report. And that report, we can use for the equipment selection. So this I'm considering as part 2 in Revit. Next, I'll take the questions. Don't worry. Let me just give you the idea about the syllabus first, so that you'll get the idea what you're going to get in this training program. Part 3, I'm considering HVAC air site. And as I said at the beginning, throughout this training program, I'm going to use the school project and Villa project only for the load calculation. So again, for air site also, I'm dealing with the school project. And in air site, we'll deal with the preparing the airflow schedules. Then we'll learn how to place the 8 terminals, hosted and non-hosted. Hosted means with false ceiling, non-hosted means without false ceiling. And we have a different options like auto routing or manual routing for the duct. And auto routing is very interesting in Revit. After placing the 8 terminals and the equipment, one can use the auto routing option, so that automatically the Revit offer you the different possible routes for the ducting, which is okay or which is required. One can use by clicking the finish. Automatically the ducting will create. And remember, in Revit, we are not dealing with the just drawings. We are dealing with the 3D intelligent components. So in AutoCAD, we can draw the duct, but in here in Revit, we are going to create the duct. Okay, so like in a virtual way. So this is not just a drawing. We are creating that. So element have means all this element in Revit are intelligent. So we are not just drawing, we are creating. So if I say ducting means I'm going to create the duct, like how we are going to install the duct on site. Similarly, here in Revit, we are going to create the duct in a virtual way. Okay, with all properties of the duct, with the dimensions, etc. So we have very interesting tool called auto routing, which will save a lot of time for routing, especially for routing point of view. Then we have the manual routing. Then we'll discuss about how to add the thermal insulation, acoustic lining, duct accessories, etc. Apart from this, here you'll find CAD to Revit. Suppose if your architect is offering CAD files, not the 3D intelligent building, in that case, one can link the CAD file and can deal with the ducting, even for piping also, that I'll show you in the next part. And ducting means I'm talking about again 3D intelligent ducts. Okay, so we have this CAD to Revit also. So because you see, all the architect will not provide the 3D intelligent building. No? So if you have the CAD file also, we can use for this ducting and piping. But again, note here, load calculation is not possible with the CAD file. Okay, only possible with the 3D intelligent building. But with the CAD file, we can deal with the modeling of the ducting. And this 5.1 CAD to Revit, all topics is related to CAD to Revit. How to create the duct, how to deal with the modeling of duct, how to add this junctions, fittings, etc. And it's bit lengthy, it's like a drafting. So this is about part 3. Then part 4, I'm considering piping site, HVAC piping site. Because you see, piping in Revit, you'll find in plumbing and firefighting also. So here, part 4, I'm considering HVAC piping site, again with the school project. So in piping also, again, the same thing. We are not going to draw the pipe. We are going to create the pipe. We are dealing with the 3D intelligent elements. Okay, the pipe will have the properties, pipe will have the system information, pipe will have this flow information. Even we can deal with some analysis point of view, like friction we can find out inside the pipe, the total pressure drop, etc. So here we'll learn how to add the mechanical equipments like AHU, chillers, etc. Then we'll deal with the piping system. Piping system means here in Revit, logical connection. Similarly, you'll find the ducting system also. So first we'll deal with the logical connection between the equipments. Then we'll deal with the ducting and piping system. Okay. So again, in piping, you'll find the supply system, return system. Then the same option is available in piping for auto routing. Like in ducting, we have auto routing. Similarly, for piping also, we have this auto routing option, plus manual also available. So if you want, you can deal with the manual piping, or else you can use auto routing to save the time. But you see, this is not like AI. It will not do everything automatically. You need to spend time, and you need to follow the order. And this required enough practice also, because this Revit software work on the BIM concept, and everything should be means in order. So initially you will find somewhat difficulty, but when you practice, when you get the order, when you follow the order, you can able to deal with these things very smoothly. But as I said at the beginning, you must spend time for practice, because this is not like AutoCAD. Okay. And so you need to follow the order, because everything what we are using is a 3D intelligent components, and the intelligent component having the link between the component. So in order to get the proper results, you need to link that components. In order to link that components, you must follow the order. So following the order is very, very important to it. For example, after logical connection only, one can use the tool called auto routing. Okay. Before that, the auto routing tool will not activate when you select the terminals. So like this, following the order is very, very important. And many tools in Revit will activate only in sequence as per the requirement. So you need to focus more on the order. And that's the reason initially don't do any experiment, follow as it is, how I'm showing in the class, and follow the same project. Initially, if you try to do the experiment, you'll get a lot of confusion. After completing the class project, you are allowed to do the experiment. You can with your own project or with any other project, or with the same project, you can do the experiment. But initially, I not recommend to do the experiment. Follow the order, complete the exercises, complete the class project. First, get the concept, get the order, then do the experiment. Okay. So these are the things I'm going to offer in part 4 for the HVAC piping system. And this is for the HVAC side. Next, part 5, I'm considering for electrical system, again with the same contribution of school project. And in electrical system, you'll find the lighting side and power side. Okay, so this I divide into 2, lighting side. Again, in lighting, first of all, we'll deal with the basic settings, then we'll add the wiring, voltage definition, and we'll deal with the different parameters. Then adding space lighting means how you add the diffuser in the same way, place the light fixture. Again, in light fixture also, we have hosted and non-hosted type. So you see, many tools are common between the services. So if you complete one service, that tools will help you for other services also. For example, placing hosted A terminal. The procedure is same for placing hosted light fixture. Okay. And after placing the light fixture, again, we'll deal with the logical connection. The lighting panel and the light will create the logical connection. And after logical connection only, one can deal with the wiring. Again, in wiring also, we have auto wiring and the manual. Okay. So you see the sequence is similar for the different services in Revit. So here, planning electrical system, we'll deal with the lighting side as well as the power side. You can find here in the next page, power side. And apart from this, you'll find the additional topic like electrical configuration, wiring configuration, voltage configuration, and this manual cable, circuit properties, etc. Okay, I request to read once. I'll share you this presentation after this class in WhatsApp group, so that you can go through once. You'll get the idea. At this level, you may not get all these terms and terminology, because many things are new, even for experienced participant. Next, here, part 6 is for plumbing system. In plumbing, you'll find water side and drainage side. So again, in plumbing, we'll talk about the basic settings first, then adding the pipe size in the basic settings as per the requirement. If not, if the size is not available, then we'll start with placing the fixtures. Okay, after placing the fixtures only, I believe everyone know what is fixtures. So after placing the fixtures only, we'll deal with the water side and drainage side. Again, in water side, we'll deal with the logical connection, then piping. Again, in piping, you'll find the auto routing option as well as the manual routing option for plumbing, for water side as well as for drainage side. Okay, so this is also very interesting. So if you know the tools for HVAC piping, the tools can be used even for HVAC as well as for firefighting. No doubt, the system type for the pipe is different, the service is different, but the tools and the order is similar. Okay, so you'll get the advantage after completing piping for one service. You'll get the advantage for other services, but it's not exactly same. You know, different services, different settings, but that using tools, you'll get the advantage. So here you'll find this water side and drainage side. Apart from this, I add additional project so that you'll get more idea about the manual tools for this plumbing side. Next, part 7, I'm considering for firefighting system. In firefighting system, the major system is a sprinkler system. So we'll learn how to place the sprinklers as per the requirement. And after placing the sprinklers, again, we'll deal with the logical connection, then the piping and the pumps, etc. So here in firefighting part 7, in Revit, you'll find the sprinkler system. For this fire extinguisher, etc., directly like you can drag and drop that equipment. That is not a big deal. But again, that designing part you need to do separately, so that as per the requirement, the number of fire extinguisher you can place in the spaces. So placing the fire extinguisher is very easy in Revit, like how you're placing the other components. But here in Revit, what I'm offering in syllabus, the major is a sprinkler system, how to place the sprinklers and dealing with the piping, etc. You see, the tools which is common for all the services. This is also very, very important. You see, part 1 and part 8 is common for all the services. Here in part 8, the tools which is common for all the services, we'll learn about annotations, dimensions, detailing, which is required for all the services. Okay, for example, after completing the design, we're required to add the dimensions, text, tags, etc. Means I'm talking about annotation, which is common for all the services. So you'll find the different tools, and this is like AutoCAD, means adding the dimension, adding the text, adding the tags, etc. So that's the reason these tools are common for all the services, and this is also important, very, very important for all the services. And next, here you see part 9, I'm considering advanced topics. In advanced topic, you're going to get how to deal with the central file, which is very, very important concept, because as I said at the beginning, in Revit, we are dealing with the project. Okay, so one engineer cannot do all the services. Connection or should have some multiple file all together linked with one file. So we have a concept of central file in Revit. So how to deal with the central file, how to create the central file, how to work in for the local files, and how to connect the local file to the central file, you'll get in this advanced topic. Apart from this, managing project, this is also important. Next, facing and grouping, then exporting. So all this I'm covering in advanced topic, plus families. Families is like manufacturing the components in a virtual way. This is out of the project. Okay, in all the project, we are not going to create the families. Families means I'm talking about the diffuser family, light fixture family, AHU family, etc. In Revit, we used to call this component as a family, because in AHU you'll find different capacities now. So you used to call AHU family. Means I'm talking about the 3D intelligent components. Okay, and what is exactly 3D intelligent component? You'll get the idea when I start the project. So here family refers to 3D intelligent component. And why we are calling family? Because we are referring like AHU family and diffuser family, or say A terminal family, in that you'll find the different A terminals, or light fixture family, etc. And it is not required to create family all the time for all the project, because Autodesk is offering these families by default, like AHU family, diffuser family, light fixture family, maximum components you'll find from the Autodesk. They're offering as a Revit content. Okay, but apart from this, if you want any other component, then we can create in the family. Means creating family means working or creating a component, like how as a mechanical, how you create this in ProECATIA. Okay, so this is in Revit. So if required, we can create, or else we can use the available. You see, creating the family from the existing is very, very simple. For example, if you want to create your own vendor AHU, we'll pick the available AHU from the Revit family and we'll copy and we'll update the parameters. So creating the new from the existing is very, very simple. But creating from the scratch is like a component designing. Okay, so that this also I'm covering in the advanced topic. So I divide this training program into total 9 parts. Okay, part 1 is common for all, basics, Revit MEP basics. Next, you'll find the parts for HVAC, then for electrical, then for plumbing, then electrical, and part 8 again is for common for all the services. You'll find the tools which is required for all the services, like annotation, dimensions, etc. Then part 9 is for advanced topics. So these are the modules or parts I'm going to cover in this training program. If you talk about this live online is going to be for 2 months, Monday to Thursday only classes for 1 hour. And if you are opting for the video course, then you'll get the 3 months access for the video course. If you want, you can go for the 6 months access. Also, we have a different plan for the video course also. So we are offering this in the classroom, live online, as well as in the video recorded. Okay. At present, you are in the live online session. Okay. So if you want to continue this live online session, welcome. If you want flexible timing, then you can opt for the video course also. Or if you are local, you can come to the office for the classroom training. But any one option you can take, not the multiple options. And you will get the notes, step-by-step notes. And for additional, for updated topics, you need to create the running notes. I'll give you in the class. Okay. And for project point of view, you'll get the step-by-step notes, including this project file and how to use this project file and how to use the notes. I'll show you when I start the project. So this is about this Revit MEP training program. Let me share the screen. We have a website, smtechno.graphy.com. In that, you can go to this video courses. And here you can access the basic course for Revit is for free. Here. Okay, this part 1 is available in the video also. So for revision also for this training, you can use this, or else if you are new to this service, I request to enroll for this. I'll share you the link on WhatsApp also. At present, I'm sharing. Anyhow, you can remember smtechno.graphy.com. Just go to this website and click on video courses. And all these basic courses, not only for Revit, for HVAC, plumbing, firefighting, electrical, even Revit architectural and AutoCAD. AutoCAD is a completely free today. So all these basic courses also, the video course is free, including this drafting. If anyone new, then they can enroll for this drafting course also. Okay, then online. Thank you.